Welcome back to another Ratface44 Reviews. My name is James, and today we have G.I. Joe Classified Series, Crimson Viper, and Crimson Alley Viper. So let's get this repaint started! So before we get this started, big shout out to all my subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you for watching. So let's take a look at the artwork. So here's the packaging for Alley Viper. I believe this is part of a Walmart wave. As you can see, there are dark energon in the background. The Alley Viper is in the forest. As like I said in the intro of this video, both of these are just repaints. So I figured I would do a 2-in-1 video since they're part of the Crimson Repaint Police. I don't know. So as you can see in the Alley Viper, there has all of his accessories, a nice piece of artwork of the Crimson Alley Viper. We'll have a box comparison later on for this artwork and also with the Viper. So let's take a look at the Crimson Viper box. He looks like he's on landing field here with a bunch of jets in the background. You got a nice picture of the Alley Viper in the corner here, all the accessories. So on this side of the packagings, you see the Alley Viper and the Crimson Viper. Great piece of artwork. I like this artwork. It's very cool. Crimson Viper's number 85. Alley Viper, Crimson Alley Viper's number 91. So let's look at the back of the packaging of the Crimson Alley Viper here. As you can see, he is 6.4 inches tall. All of his accessories, zoom in shots of his face mask here, and the backpack, I believe. Boring stuff at the bottom, like we always do. Number 91 in the line. QR code. And let's look at the Crimson Viper here. He is 6.3 inches tall. All of his accessories, zoom in shots, some aspects of his gear, like the belt here. So you see some grenades on his shoulder. Boring stuff at the bottom. On this side of the packaging, number 85, QR code. So I'm going to put more attention on the Alley Viper since I have not done a review on this figure before. We'll have plenty of comparisons later on in this video. Doing a quick box comparison with the Vipers. As you can see, has completely different artwork. And also the Alley Viper has completely different artwork on the packaging. Man, I miss window packaging. So let's go ahead and unbox these figures. Quick shot of the Crimson Alley Viper and the Crimson Viper in their cardboard imprisonments. So here's the Crimson Alley Viper's footlocker or weapons crate, Cobra logo, number 91, Crimson Alley Viper. Let's go ahead and take out all these accessories. We are very familiar with all the accessories. Let's take them out. Let's take a look at the accessories from smallest to biggest, like we always do on this channel. So first off, we have this little knife with a silver blade, some nice detail on the handle, and next we have his bolt or bow and arrow that connects to one of the weapons here. Let's go ahead and do that right away. I believe it's this one. Kind of connects where the blast effects is. That's pretty cool. And next we have a couple of magazines, and we have his sidearm. We all have seen this. I don't believe there's any holes for blast effects on this one. Next we have this part of his mask that connects to the head. Has a nice kind of blue paint application, blue and black paint application. It is in red and it's very thin, just like the original. Next we have this homage to the original submachine gun that came with Alley Viper. Speaking of that, we'll have a vintage comparison later on in this video. There's some nice molding detail, and surprisingly these aren't as bendy as the newer classified figures, which is very surprising. So here is that rifle slash bolt shooter type of weapon. It has like a scope on it and a nice kind of stock. Very simple, not too much detail in the molding. And next we have a very, very bent weapon. This is super unfortunate. I just saw this, and this is very, very bendy. A little bit of heat will fix that up, but that's super unfortunate. And these magazines will fit in either or. rifle. They fit in just like that. That's a big, maybe they're not exactly all the same. So that fits in. Yeah, they're basically the same. And yeah, this one is super bendy, super inconsistent. And the other magazine fits weirdly in this side right here, just like that. Just like the original, this submachine gun is very strange. And here is the backpack. This is definitely an homage of the original backpack. Very cool, has kind of like these molding details. I'm not exactly 100% sure what these are. I think it's upside down. Here there's a cobra symbol that is molded into the backpack. Barely visible on my end, but on the camera you can see it perfectly. Has some really cool technical details. I love this backpack. It has some great molding details on it. I wish I had a little bit of paint, would have brought this right out. And lastly, we have the shield, which is in a cardboard protective case here. And this is the highlight of all the accessories, 100%. Like I just said, paint and accessories bring this up to the next level, 100%. Check out the black cobra symbol. You got some white kind of sideways lines on the shield. Great molding detail, and it has a cool readout screen on the back of this. It looks like maybe printed or a sticker. Cool blue graphics on it, and of course there is a kind of very soft loops here to put his hands in. Very cool. So here's the LA Viper, all out of its packaging. Let's go ahead and take a look at the style and design of this figure. Since it's a repaint, I will do a quick scan through of all the paint applications on this figure. As you can see, it's red, gray, and black. Very cool looking figure. That's why I didn't really want to pass up on this. I think this looks really cool. There is some cool kind of gold details here, like these little loops down here I just saw. So let's take a look at the head. So there is a cobra symbol on his forehead. Very cool. Red, black. Those eyes look freaking menacing as heck. There are little pegs there for his mask. As we move down onto his tactical vest, you got some gray paint highlights here on his shoulders. You got a knife sheath. You got some cool kind of black little details like a zipper and little straps on the red vest. Very cool. Check out those pockets. And like I was saying, down at the bottom here, you got some clips done in this kind of gold paint. These gray cool pockets. And on the shoulders here, you got another cobra symbol on his bicep. Moving down, you have these black arms with the same kind of pattern that's on his shield. On his forearm here, there is a knife sheath, I believe. I haven't really looked at the old Crimson Viper in a long time, so I'm assuming that is one of the knife sheaths. So there is a second knife, and I missed out on this one. It kind of fell out. I think it was in the shield packaging. There is a little loop on this one with a silver blade and some texture on the handle. So on the left arm, it's just a plain black arm with the same kind of paint application here. These lines in a kind of a diagonal pattern. He has kind of like an overlay, which is the tactical vest. You got a nice brown type of pouch right here. Soft, made of this soft plastic, so it will hinder his articulation in the ab crunch. And on the thighs, he has a holster for his sidearm. Got some gray knee pads and has this kind of waffle pattern on his knees. And on his shins, he has these shin guards done in this gray plastic. Mine's a little bit crooked. It might be glued in, or might have to readjust, but it looks a little crooked to me. Pinned knees, and I believe these are pinned elbows, double jointed, of course, because this is an old mold. And looking down, he has these regular old military boots, laces, details, and has some molded in straps that go around to the back. So overall, this has great paint applications. A little bit of a QC issue with this shin guard that's a little crooked. It might be glued on a little bit crooked. So let's go ahead and gear up the Alley Viper. So there's one thing I missed right here. There is a printed detail on the inside of this mask. It looks like some sort of sound waves or something like that done in this blue and black. So the mask just kind of clips on. And it's on this kind of hinge that moves up and down. Check that out. I find it kind of weird putting a knife on his forearm. So there's one thing I would like to point out. You can slot on the rifle onto the backpack and put it right in where the trigger hole is, just like that. Just like the way it looks like on the vintage figure. But that one is molded in. So I was able to put it on just like that. So this is the best I can get it with the magazine kind of resting on his forearm, and it just falls right out. So this other weapon, I'm just not going to use it. So after messing around with the Alley Viper for a little bit, I managed to get him all geared up. It's really awkward to gear this guy up, especially with this submachine gun. This is the only practical way I was able to get him to hold it. That way the magazine doesn't run into his forearm. So overall, he looks really awesome. I love the black, love the red, love the gray combination of colors. Freaking awesome. The shield just makes this figure pop. Up next is the Crimson Viper. So here is the footlocker with the Crimson Viper, number 85. Let's take out these accessories. So here's the Crimson Viper, all out of its packaging. Let's quickly go over all the accessories from smallest to biggest. So first off, we have his pistol here, done in a gray plastic. Next, we got his goggles here with a nice silver paint application. Next, we have the blue, purplish bandana. And next, we have his rifle blaster, done in the same type of gray plastic. We all have seen this before. It has a removable mag. And the highlight of the accessories is this backpack. Freaking awesome. Again, paint applications on accessories just bring it up to the next level. I like the black Cobra symbol. I wish it was kind of highlighted with a little bit of more red, but there's a red background on it. Got some lighter gray paint application on these cylinders, these black straps, and the rope is done in a darker gray paint application also. So that's it for all the accessories. Let's go ahead and gear up Crimson Viper. So there's the Crimson Viper all geared up. Let's go over some of the paint applications this guy has. And as you can see, it's done in a red plastic with some black highlights of his grenades and some straps. You got this painted detail right here. Unsure what that is. It has a nice black belt with a bunch of pouches, gray holster, same head. This is just a repaint. I struggled with the goggles there. Of course, they kind of fit kind of oddly on the helmet. They got the purple bandana, which is a nice little color difference for this figure. Silver Cobra symbol on his chest. Very cool looking figure. Got some black and gray gauntlets on his forearms, black gloves, and you have these inner thigh pads. Same kind of detail on the knee pads, kind of a rigid type of detail. Tall black boots, laces details, and some standard looking shoe type things. Pinned double jointed knees and elbows. And there's one thing I want to point out is his ankle is very loose. Standard articulation for all these older classified body molds, but overall this figure looks freaking amazing. I didn't want to pass up. I actually wanted to skip out on the Viper because I have plenty of Cobra Island Vipers. We'll have some comparisons coming right up. So if you guys want to see more of a detailed review on the Viper, go ahead and take a look at my past video. I'll put a little card at the top corner. So I got the first version of Alley Viper. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a comparison with these guys. He might be a little dusty. I tried to clean him up as much as possible. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a comparison. As you can see, you know, it's completely different colors. Same exact mold. I see a difference here with the knife sheath. The standard Alley Viper has a top kind of loading knife. The Crimson Alley Viper has a sheath that loads from the bottom. That is strange why they changed that up. Looking at the faces, they are exactly the same mold, but different color, of course. So there's another difference I've found here in the difference between these Alley Vipers. You can see that there's a painted pouch here, and the standard Alley Viper is not painted. So that's it for the comparison between the Alley Vipers. So here is the other two Vipers I currently own. I do not own the Viper 3-pack to do a comparison, unfortunately. I'm playing the long game on that pack since, you know, I have plenty of these Cobra Island Vipers. I think this is the de facto best Viper. Let me know in the comment section down below which Viper do you like the best. But I really love this figure. It's one of my favorites. One thing to highlight here, there is a Cobra symbol on his, on the standard Cobra Island Viper that's painted red, and the other two don't. You can tell it's the same exact belt, but it's unpainted. And of course the Python Patrol is kind of the sore thumb in the bunch here. He doesn't have a scarf. He has a different type of Cobra print on his chest here, on his vest. But basically, they're all the same mold, just painted in a different color. So there you have it, guys. Final thoughts of the Crimson Viper and the Crimson Alley Viper. Again, these guys are just repaints. I was going to skip on the Crimson Viper. I'm glad I didn't. He's really great looking. So is the Crimson Alley Viper. They look pretty amazing. The only complaint I have is the gummy weapons, of course, and that really crazy bent rifle that I have here. This is probably the worst I've ever seen out of the classifieds weapons. That it's basically stuck in this. It's basically stuck like that. I know a little bit of heat will do it, but this is pretty much trash to me. Tossing in a mandatory G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero comparison with the classified versions. I recently got this very nice minty version of the Alley Viper. Love the colors on this guy. That's why I really gravitate towards the original Viper. It looks completely crazy. Of course, he is definitely a target. You can see him from a mile away. And we have the vintage Viper. This is probably one of my favorite army builders of all time. We can go ahead and take a look at the backpack, classified, and the vintage. I think I did a comparison with these backpacks with my previous review. They are completely different, of course, but the colors are spot on, 100%. Same with the vintage Alley Viper and the classified version. I really want to take a look at his backpack and do a comparison. I know this is the exact same backpack as the Crimson Alley Viper, but this is just something I wanted to put on camera and show you guys. As you can see, it's like almost exactly the same, like almost exact same sculpt, which is really cool. Same with the Cobra symbol up on the top left side of this backpack. And there's another thing I wanted to show is his wacky submachine gun. They went sculpt for sculpt here with the, they look like they just scanned the original one and they just made a 1/12 scale version of this wacky submachine gun. Love this shot, super cool. I hope you enjoyed my review and comparisons. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and Yo Joe and Cobra!